The planet of Veylor. 9 gleamed like a jewel in the blackness of space, its twin suns casting jagged shadows over the vast, silver plains. For centuries, the Veylarians, an ancient and technologically supreme race, had looked down upon Earth and its inhabitants. To them, humans were fragile, impulsive, and driven by chaotic emotions, qualities the Veylarians considered primitive. Aria, a Veylarian warrior of exceptional rank, had always embodied the ideals of her people. With her translucent silver hair flowing like liquid mercury and eyes that glimmered with the cold logic of her species, she moved through life with calculated precision. To Aria, humans were inconsequential. She had witnessed their wars, their fragile governments, and their relentless bickering. Yet she had never encountered one who could challenge her beliefs until the man named Elias arrived. Elias was a human envoy sent to negotiate peace and trade between Earth and Veylor. 9. By human standards, he was unremarkable, average height, brown hair, and eyes that betrayed both curiosity and vulnerability. To Aria, he was nothing more than a fragile creature, unworthy of her attention. Yet fate, as it often does, had a way of proving assumptions wrong. The first meeting took place in the Citadel of Light, the grandest structure on Veylor. 9. Aria stood at the top of the crystalline staircase, her presence radiating authority. Elias approached, his every step cautious but unwavering. "You must be Aria," he said, bowing respectfully. "I am Elias of Earth. It is an honor to meet you." Aria regarded him silently, her mind weighing his worth. His heart raced visibly. Humans wore their emotions like open wounds, and for a moment, she almost dismissed him entirely. "Earth sends a fragile creature as their representative," she said coldly. "Why should I entertain your presence?" Elias met her gaze with an honesty that startled her. "Because fragility can hide strength. You may see weakness, but humans endure what no other species could survive." Aria's laugh was soft but cutting. "Survive? You are incapable of holding a Veylarian blade, let alone mastering the tactics of war." "Perhaps," he admitted, "but survival is more than strength. It is adaptation, ingenuity, and resilience. And it's those qualities that brought me here." For the first time, Aria felt a flicker of curiosity, a sensation she had long thought extinct in her encounters with humans. She allowed him a chance to speak further, though she did not yet believe his words. Over the next several days, Elias accompanied Aria on tours of Veylor. 9, from the sprawling energy mines to the floating arenas where warriors hone their skills. Wherever they went, Aria observed him closely, expecting to see fear, hesitation, and inevitable failure. But instead, she witnessed determination. When they traversed the charred cliffs, sharp, crystalline formations that could cut flesh in an instant, Elias climbed carefully yet steadily, never faltering despite the danger. When the warriors challenged him in the arena, he dodged and parried with instinctive timing, surprising even Aria. "You are persistent," she admitted one evening as they watched the twin suns set. "Persistence does not equal strength." "No," Elias replied with a small smile. "But persistence can achieve what strength alone cannot. Humans endure because we fight not only for ourselves, but for those we care about." Aria turned her gaze away, conflicted. She had been raised to view emotions as liabilities. Yet in Elias's words, there was a logic she could not dismiss, an unquantifiable force that no Veylarian weapon could measure. Their growing connection did not go unnoticed. Among the Veylarian Council, whispers began to circulate. Aria had begun to underestimate her superiority. But Aria ignored them. She had begun to see something she had never expected. Humans were not weak. The true test came when Veylor, 9 was attacked by a rogue faction of Veylarians who sought to seize control of the planet's energy core. These warriors were elite, far more powerful than any human, and they moved with lethal precision. Aria prepared to defend the citadel, confident that her strength alone would be enough. Elias insisted on joining her. "Let me help," he said. "I may be weak compared to your kind, but I can still make a difference." Aria's instincts screamed to stop him, yet she found herself nodding. The rogue Veylarians descended like a storm, and the battle erupted with fire and fury. Aria moved with deadly efficiency, her blades slicing through the invaders with flawless precision. Elias, however, fought differently. He used cunning rather than raw strength, drawing enemies into traps, using the environment to his advantage, and protecting civilians caught in the crossfire. It was in the final confrontation that Aria realized the truth. A rogue Veylarian, faster and stronger than her, cornered her with a blade aimed for her heart. Elias, seeing her in danger, leaped into the path without hesitation. Using sheer ingenuity, he created a makeshift lever from debris, sending the attacker tumbling into the energy core's containment field. Aria stared at him, breathless. "You risked everything for me?" "For all of us," Elias said, panting. "Humans may be fragile, but we fight for what we believe in. That's our strength." In that moment, something inside Aria shifted. She realized that strength was not measured solely by power, speed, or technology. It was measured by courage, by resilience, by the willingness to act when all odds seemed against you. Humans were not weak. They were extraordinary in ways she had never imagined. After the battle, the rogue faction was subdued, and the council recognized Elias's contributions. Aria stood before him in the council chamber, her eyes reflecting a mix of admiration and newfound respect. "You have changed my perspective," she admitted. "I believed humans were weak, but you have shown me otherwise." Elias smiled, a mixture of relief and pride in his expression. "It only takes one person to change a mind, Aria. And sometimes, it takes someone brave enough to see beyond assumptions." From that day forward, Aria and Elias forged a bond that transcended species. The Veylarians began to reevaluate their attitudes toward humanity, recognizing the resilience and ingenuity that humans possessed. Aria became an ambassador between the two worlds, advocating for cooperation and understanding. And Elias, well, he became the man who proved that even the most unlikely heroes could change the course of history. Years later, when the twin sons of Veylor, 9 rose over the horizon, Aria would sometimes look at Elias and smile. She no longer saw him as fragile. She saw the heart that had fought not just to survive, but to inspire change, a heart that had rewritten the destiny of an entire world. And in that smile, the Veylarians learned a lesson that would echo through generations. Strength is not only in power, but in courage, love, and the unyielding will to endure. The legend of Elias, the human who changed a Veylarian mind, spread far beyond Veylor. 9. Stories of his bravery inspired not only humans, but countless other species across the galaxy. And for Aria, the warrior who once believed humans were weak, she learned that true strength often lies where you least expect it, in the heart of the smallest, seemingly weakest creature. Because sometimes, it only takes one person to prove that weakness is an illusion, and courage is the greatest force in the universe. The battle was over. The rogue Veylarians lay defeated, the energy core stabilized, and the citadel echoed only with the hum of recovery. Aria stood at the highest balcony, staring at the twin suns dipping behind the silver plains. Her heart, once rigid with the certainty of human weakness, now beat with a newfound understanding. Elias approached quietly, his presence calm yet unwavering. "You've changed," he said softly. Aria turned, her silver eyes meeting his human gaze. "No, you've changed me," she admitted. "I believed humans were fragile, incapable of more than survival. But you showed me strength is not measured by power alone. It's measured by courage, by heart, by the willingness to act when everything is against you." Elias smiled. "And sometimes, it only takes one person to challenge assumptions." She reached out, brushing a hand against his. For the first time, she felt an unspoken bond, one that transcended species, expectations, and history itself. The Veylarians had always prided themselves on perfection, logic, and supremacy, but in Elias, she saw something far greater: humanity in its truest, most resilient form. The legend of that day would endure, not as a tale of conquest or power, but as a story of transformation. A human had shown a warrior of the stars that weakness was an illusion, and courage could rewrite destinies. Aria turned back to the horizon, feeling a spark she had never known. Beside her, Elias's presence was steady, reassuring. And for the first time, she understood that true strength, true greatness, could come from even the smallest, most unexpected heart. In the silence of the twin suns' fading light, Aria whispered to herself, "Strength isn't in being invincible, it's in daring to be human." And with that, a new chapter began, for humans, for Veylarians, and for the unlikely hero who had changed everything.